Might just be you and me on the pod this week, bro.
Oh, as the kids not joining?
Well, they don't seem to be. Here it is.
I bet they'll be late as usual.
Drunk, of course.
Drunk. Fell off his bloody horse, broke his bloody neck.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, it's a shame. No guests today either. Because my buddy's still, his wife had a baby last week.
I get it. Yeah.
And then after having a baby, he listened to the podcast the next day. Good job, Chris.
Shout out to Chris. No, we're not on the show yet. Uh-oh, somebody's calling me.
Well,
Hello.
Who could it be?
Hello.
Oh, well, it's Noah.
Hi, I'm a participant now.
You sure are. And how, Noah? And how?
How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing
What do we
great.
got?
Oh, we got Guy. We got me. And now we've got you.
Well, if I don't say, I believe that's a quorum.
Is it a quorum, though? Is it? I think it is, because if it's just Guy and me talking to each other, it's just like a phone call.
It's true.
And it's usually containing...
Don't you need 4 for a quorum?
I don't know. I don't think...
I mean, it depends on the organization, does it not?
Well, I think we have a quorum for a union meeting.
Well, it's 8 in my hall. I don't know what it is over at your hall. Uncle Guy, I should say.
I don't know either. I've never been there.
You've never been to your hall?
Nope.
Really? I thought you were a
You're a
union...
steward who's never been?
Yeah, well, let's see. I've been to the room, I guess, where they teach the class, but I've never actually been to a meeting or anything.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
I never even got sworn in.
What? That's crazy.
Well, I'm confused.
Okay.
Do you get sworn in as a member?
You're supposed to get sworn in. You put it in your application. They swear you in the meeting, and everyone pats you on the back and gives you a beer.
No, I never did that. I was in Hayden when I joined. I was in another town when I joined. So there you just fill out the application. Where I was at, just a bunch of union thugs come in and say, "You're gonna join the union. If you don't, we're gonna ask the company to terminate you, and they will terminate you if you don't join." And that's the extent of it. You sign a little yellow paper, and then they start taking your dues.
Well, every local does it different.
Yeah, everyone does.
And yet, the result is the same.
Yes, the result is you're getting pinched.
That's right. But
speaking of, actually, some news on that front that I got. I did my first bit of resi work today. I actually went out and we did a little bit of volunteer stuff, but I got to go and do some housework. That was kind of cool.
You said you were so uncomfortable with it. Good job.
Yeah, right. Just pop my little residential cherry, and actually, it seems quite fun. It's fast paced, but it's some fun stuff. It's super easy.
All right, super easy residential electricity. That's
true.
true.
Have options.
Sure is. It would be nice if you had the option to come here and fix my shit because it's broken.
I mean,
What the fuck is wrong with your shit?
Well, there's a dining room light that doesn't work. That's for sure. And then
Have you tried replacing the light bulb?
Why insult me? I mean, why?
Would we truly be good children if we didn't insult you?
That's a good point.
Wow. My own children.
It's a family tradition.
It sure is. It's a tradition. So that's all good. Forget what I'm talking about, though. I think I'm talking about...
You got a bad light.
Yeah, I mean...
you had some bad... I replaced the GFI when I was there, and there's some other issues. He's got some issues, for sure.
Oh, my gosh, yes. And that's not even talking about the electricity.
Do you think you got to replace the wire? Do you think that they got to replace some wires? Do you think it's like a fixture issue, or what do you think?
No, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I actually shortened the cord for the chandelier, and then after I shortened it, it didn't work. But I never checked a fucking light bulb, though. I never said, Mom, maybe I blew the fucking light bulb out, but I put a new dimmer switch and a new fucking I basically just cut the cord and fucking moved it up like 2 feet.
You know what? Here's a possibility. Maybe when we had it on the ground, maybe we broke the light bulb.
Holy shit!
You never checked the light bulb this whole fucking time.
I don't think so. It's got 3 light bulbs in it, doesn't it?
I don't know anymore. It's just been hanging up there dead, lifeless for a year. So
I think it's got 3 or 4 light bulbs in it. I don't know. I think there's an issue with the ground or something. I'm not sure. But
maybe.
I'm not a residential electrician.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, you're not a licensed residential electrician.
I'm not licensed anything. Actually, XL Energy forgot to fill out my paperwork, so I don't even have a journeyman card.
What?
Are you for real?
No, it's true. I did. I don't know what do you say. How I appealed it, I guess, with the FJAC and the SJAC, which is the Functional on the Job Training Committee, and the Department of Labor, and they are making XL Energy submit my program to the Department of Labor so that I can get my certificate.
So that's still ongoing? That whole process? I mean, that's been going on for over a year, hasn't it?
It's been going on for 2.5 years now, actually.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I should be getting it within the next 6 months. The bummer about it is that I should have had it 3 years ago, and I don't have it. So
Yet it doesn't affect your job.
It doesn't affect my pay because I work for XL Energy. If I tried to get another job, I couldn't do it.
Then it would affect you, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can't travel without a freaking JW card.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck until I get it. And which is the lady said July 1st she can pull me out of Rapids and apply for it. And then after that, they got to get it signed, and I should have it within about 6 months. But none of my experience counts because they won't backdate the certificate. So I will just get it from the date that it's signed, which will be 3 years past the date I became a journeyman. But like I said, I'm basically a transformer mechanic. I'm a voltage regulator repairman. I don't have anything to do with. I'm more of a mechanic than anything.
Yeah, and I'm more of a moron than anything. So, I mean, between those two things,
it's actually mechanical.
Yes.
I actually had a mechanical apprenticeship, so I can transfer to substation mechanics. In other words, I can go build substations.
Right. Now, here's what I say about you, Guy.
Yeah.
What I say about you is that I have a brother who has the skill set to build a power station from the ground up.
Yeah, but it's not true.
Well, that's okay.
Nobody else knows that.
It sounds a lot more impressive the way he
It does sound impressive. I mean, I can do some welding, and I can, but like I said, most of my shit really is mechanical. My background is mechanical. Some of it has to do. I have to chase a few circuits here and there because most of the shit we work on is electronic. But I'm not an electrician really in any way, shape, or form.
Well, your performance at our house proves it, but nevertheless.
Yeah, thank you. Well, in my own defense, I did tell you I'm not an electrician.
Yeah, but you work at Excel Energy, so it's pretty close. I wasn't going to let a little thing like the facts stand in the way of my image of you, and I still won't. Oh, did you lose me?
Have we started the pod yet?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, it's happening? It's live? We're live right now?
Oh, yeah, this thing's happening. We're recording.
You have to do the intro. You got to do the intro. You got to do the thing. It's got to be official and shit.
Well, yeah, but I didn't realize, I didn't know if we had anybody else joining at this point.
Oh, so we're not started.
No, we are. We are in that we're recorded. We haven't played the intro music and done the introductions. So I don't know what Guy did.
We can skip the intros.
No, we can't do it. Because it's part of the show. That's why.
All right. Okay.
We should have the intro right in the middle. So
Well,
let's
here's
give it about 30 minutes and then we'll get after it.
That's kind of what we do anyway these days. But my question is, what happened to Guy? You get a
A
phone?
phone call.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh,
Why can't answer his damn phone?
Well, I didn't know.
Busy man.
I mean, I saw him answering the phone, but I didn't know if it was from somebody else who should be on the podcast. Because he said, "Hey, have we started the podcast?" I thought he was. Guy, you can explain this to me, right? So you got a phone call.
There's nothing to explain. It's not always about you, Dad.
Yeah, go ahead, explain it. Go ahead, I'll be happy to explain it to you.
Okay, so my question is, did the phone call have anything to do with the podcast?
No, it was Kyler.
Okay, all right. Well, it did kind of, because Kyler could have been participating in the podcast. So it did have something.
It's possible, but when
Quit
you have
trying to shoehorn yourself into your brother's life.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Since there was no harmonica introduction, I didn't think we were actually on the pod yet. I thought this was pre-pod bullshit.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
But I always include the pre-pod bullshit into the actual pod itself. It's bonus content.
All right. Well,
there you go.
I guess I'd know that if I listened to it.
Anyway, we're going to get started. Here we go. Welcome to A Shin Show. I'm your host, Pete Shin. Joining me, my brother Guy Shin from Frederick, Colorado.
Hello.
Hello, Guy. And we're also joined by Noah McCone, my son from Gainesville, Florida. Hello, Noah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm splendid, thank you. And wrapping up the participants this week, last but by no means least, my beloved daughter, Sarah from Omaha. Hello, Sarah.
Good morning.
It's afternoon.
Yes,
Doesn't matter. I mean, whenever you listen
I got distracted because we have a surprise guest joining us in just a short moment.
Really? A surprise guest? I like that.
Spectacular.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's going to be fantastic. By the way, I saw your recent Facebook post. We're talking about news of the week here. Saw your recent Facebook post with Sarah, and my gosh, you two look great.
Thank you.
You two look better than you have at any time since you've been about 14 years old.
That's about right. That
It is
tracks.
Yeah, that checks with reality. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Glad to see I'm not insane in that regard in any event. So,
Well, you see, I'm still about 30 pounds heavier than I was when I was 14, but I've learned how to do my makeup better at this point.
I need
Touche.
to learn that tip. Whatever that tip is, Guy and I need it.
I definitely do. I look like I'm about 65.
YouTube will help you with that.
Oh,
Okay. Splendid.
All right. All we got to do is find what is it? Basically, drag queens on YouTube these days that teach you how to do your makeup.
I mean, yeah, but also like just 20-something-year-olds that have too much time on their hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Nicholas, we're rolling. In fact, we've played the harmonica introduction. Everything's going on. We're joined late now by our son, Nicholas. Well, our being mine.
Who's our super special guest, by the way. I was totally being just facetious.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I figured. I had a feeling. I had a sneaking suspicion.
I didn't think that. I thought it was Sarah Murphy. That's what I thought.
Oh, no. She's upset.
That was my
She's
second.
watching fights.
Oh,
That's
she
why I was late, by the way.
Okay. She's watching the fights. Got it. Okay. But you never know, though. I mean, it would be special because she's never been on other than in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not her. It's Nick. Nick, welcome to A Shin Show once again.
Thanks.
Yeah. Glad to have you. All right. So, news of the week. First of all, I don't really have any big news of the week, but I'm interested to hear any of yours. Anything big happened this week? Anything exciting?
Bought a new car.
What?
Ooh,
That was in the Facebook post.
Yeah, well, I saw it, but I thought that might be a rental. I didn't realize that.
Why? Why would you think that's a rental?
Because I'm a moron. I
Those
already
aren't really the cars they rent out either. I don't ever remember sports cars being popular rental car options.
what kind of vehicle is it?
It's a 2015 Dodge Challenger RT.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Goddamn, trying to go street racing.
It's very fun. They have this thing right there in the dash where it's like a little game that it records your best time from 0 to 60.
Yeah, I'll be darned. Tesla's got something like that these days too.
Yeah, I tried. So we went to Lincoln on Friday, and Murphy's like, I want to look at this car, which is code for I'm going to go buy a car. But while we were at the dealership, she was like, there's one way I'm getting this car. And so when the guy came back with an offer that was not her offer, she's like, so what do you think? And I'm like, first of all, why are you even pretending to ask me? Like, I'm literally just here to hand you my card. And second of all, there was a car down in Kansas City that we were going to go look at. And if we went down to Kansas City, I was like, well, we're down there. There's a Tesla dealership down there. Let's go look at Teslas. So long story short, she bought the car in Lincoln, and now I don't get to go play with Teslas.
Oh, it's a shame.
Oh,
Yeah, but you can play with the Challenger. The Challenger's fun to play with.
Yeah. I was going to play with the Challenger, but then I drank too much. So
Well,
Good thing you didn't.
you made the right choice in not playing with the Challenger after getting loaded. Good job, you.
thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so congratulations on the new car that you have not yet driven, I take it?
No, not yet.
I see. All right, very good. And so that is kind of big news. Nick, how about you? You got any big news?
I almost got my head smashed in yesterday.
That is pretty big news.
What did you like? Do some sort of UFC experience or?
No, none of that. I was just minding my own business in my vehicle, driving in my lane under the speed limit, and I'm listening to Bob Lazar. Joe Rogan was interviewing Bob Lazar, which is a fucking awesome, mind-blowing podcast. You should definitely listen to that.
Okay.
But I was listening to it, and I heard a noise. I was driving west on Fort Street, right where you get off the interstate on Fort, on like 105th, right before 108th.
Sure.
So I hear a noise, and I look over, and there's the rear end of a vehicle midair, 12 inches from my face, on out my window.
Yeah.
And there's glass like flying into my car, like hitting me in the side of the head and shit.
Yeah.
And the car continues its midair barrel roll and lands on the its hood on the top. And the other car, I have no fucking idea what happened. Two cars hit each other in some way. And if all I know, is that if my head had been out the window, it would have taken my head off. So because there's glass from the other car inside my car. So I stopped the car and I was like, what the fuck just happened? What do I do? And I look back and there's like 5 other people getting out of their cars to see what's going on. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get out of here. And then so I left.
That's what I do. I drive away real quick.
Yeah, I got the fuck out of there. And then I sat in my sister's driveway and I was like, I think I almost died. And then, then I went and got some Runza.
Which is
I typically run away and hide too, just in case it was my fault in some way.
Well, they were on the other side of a median. If I wanted to actually go help them, I was right. I went and looked now, and you can see there's a sign in the median where the sign is just completely flattened, and I was right next to that sign. But I would have had to driven over the median, in my tiny little Honda, and I was like, other people are stopping and getting out to get it, and my heart's beating pretty fast, and I would be no help on a police report. All I fucking saw was the taillights of a car midair 6 inches from my face.
But congratulations on being alive and getting some runs on, although, as we know, it is the fast food place that I could do without.
Yeah, which is pretty heretical and not very cool. It doesn't really jive with me, but that's all right.
We're not going to get into it right now because it could turn into a full-blown fist fight.
It's your constitutional right to be a dumbass.
I think the important takeaway here is that you don't always have to be the good Samaritan.
No.
Well, like I said, I would have been zero help. There was 6 other cars that stopped that actually probably saw what happened. All I saw was
my life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah, that's all I saw. So
yeah, well,
I'm a big fan of the dash cam. I don't have one, but I'd like to get one.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It was such an angle though that I wouldn't even my dash if I had one.
We went through a purchase list of what next to buy for Murphy's car, and she wants to do some dumb shit like paint her brake calipers. I say it's dumb, but it'll look cool. Anyway, but one of the things was the dash cam because you can. Then I can wire it so it turns on with the car and all that.
Yeah, and you also want to paint the dash cam.
Right. I don't know. What do you think?
Same color as the calipers.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's got two-toned leather interior. You see,
yeah, that interior is sexy.
She wants the brake calipers to match the red of the leather.
The drapes, as it were.
Yeah. Hey, our number 1 listener, Ben, is the one who's going to do that for her. So shout out to Ben.
Yeah, well done.
Shout out to Ben.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Ben lived in Omaha.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
Ben is Sandy, who is Murphy's sister's boyfriend.
No shit. Here I've been shouting out to Ben, and you guys knew him all the time.
Yeah, we know him. That's the only reason he binge listens is because we personally.
Yeah, I totally thought Ben was one of Dad's work friends or something. I don't know.
Let's get Ben on the show. God damn it.
Yeah, we could, but he's shy. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, Chris has no such compunctions. Chris is the other listener that we have on the show.
All 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to have. I mean, you start small, right?
That's right.
You got to start somewhere.
Small but dedicated. Thanks, guys.
I listen to it every week. Don't I get any fucking credit for that?
No,
because you're on it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
doesn't count.
It's
like voting for yourself for class president,
Who doesn't do that?
Well, everyone does it, but it still doesn't count.
Fuck.
Yeah. So good news. Elsie has shown up. So Elsie has joined the program. Elsie being
Okay.
my
Welcome.
beloved spouse, just FYI, here in the greater Maryland area, joining me. Here.
Does everybody listen to the podcast? Because I've actually never listened to it.
I've done it
Yeah,
a
I
couple
don't
of
listen to it.
times.
I listened to last week's since I wasn't on it.
Oh yeah. So what did you think of last week's pod?
Well, actually, I have like 20 minutes left because my headphones died at work. So,
Yes.
but it was
So-
pretty good. Good job.
All right.
Go team.
Yeah. All right. So it was pretty good.
It was tolerable.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, up to the point that it actually killed her headphones. Literally.
Up to the point where my headphones refuse to transmit the sound anymore of their own accord.
That's just God. That's not me.
Act of
Oh,
God
an
covered
act
by
of
insurance.
God.
That's God interfering with the podcast's ability to make its way into your brain because of its heretical content.
That's right. Have we discussed this before where I said I should work for an insurance company and just, I mean, I feel like you could argue that anything is an act of God. You know what I mean?
Really, you could. Yeah.
Like, I could be an insurance company's best friend and just be like, yeah, sorry, you're not getting that deductible because it was an act of God. But no, it didn't. A tree fell on my house. Look, everything is in the Lord's divine plan. How dare you suggest that? No deductible.
I think you would make a good insurance person.
You sure would.
And as a matter of fact, my insurance guy said the exact same fucking thing.
Oh, well, I'm not saying that I'm him, but have you ever seen us in the same room together?
No, I haven't.
I'll be darned. Well, that's news, all right. So, Elsie, do you have any big news this week? Because we're going through personal news at this point. And the big news from Sarah is that she bought a car. Well, she being Murphy, same thing. And then Nicholas Shin nearly got killed in a car accident. He was car accident adjacent.
Oh, yeah, it turns out the lady was drunk, by the way, also. The
Yeah, we
lady,
looked it up.
one of them was drunk. So, yeah, that would have been fun to get my head smashed in by a drunk driver when I was just minding my own business.
But you didn't. So,
That's kind of the natural progression of drunk driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whoa, that was weird. Noah, on the other hand, this week has done his first domestic, what do you call this? Household electrical job.
Residential. You call it residential.
What did I
You
call it?
reside in the
Household?
building.
What did I say? I said something else, didn't I?
Said the wrong thing.
Whatever it was wrong.
Shockingly.
Yeah, it is shocking. All right, and then Guy's big news is that he had a. Oh, Guy, I'll let you tell your own big news.
What is it?
Well, I think it might be that you had a crown put on partially or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't really consider that big news. I had a pretty bad experience at the dentist, and I think for everyone's sake, it's best if I don't relive it.
Okay, that's fair. So what else happened, though? Anything?
I don't. Well, since you seem to be more informed than me, I don't know. Did anything else happen? I don't think.
Well, I hear the rest of your week was just top shelf.
Well, sounds good to me.
All right, fantastic. And then Elsie, so we've been through everybody's news except yours. Did you have any big news this week?
That's not true. What happened in your week?
Well, I said, well, I'm getting to mine. I always wrap it up.
He's saving the best for last.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Naturally.
Wants to go
Mine
out.
couldn't possibly be best. Normal bullshit. But it was kind of exciting to be out at a business dinner, and then right next to our table, the ceiling just start pouring water.
Oh.
We got a lot of splash going on. Who knew it was a splash zone in a nice restaurant? But it was
Classy place, I see.
exciting. Yeah, it was cool.
This is what happens when you have a business dinner at Taco John's. You just don't know what's going to happen. So,
A business dinner. I have a business dinner every night then.
well, you certainly do. That's wonderful. And then my big news of the week, speaking of major purchases, is that I got irritated with Elsie this morning, so she thought I was going to divorce her. So she let me buy a $2,500 laptop.
Oh.
Ooh.
But then the irritation continued. So what the fuck?
Well, then she wouldn't let me buy $1,300 worth of suits. So
I would, but then
I
he started
totally was-
wasting water while washing dishes, which was totally unsatisfactory, and that's why I was banned from the first part of this podcast.
that's true. All right, all of that's true. Every last bit of it. But no, we did buy
what's-
a very-
Marital bliss.
I have questions. What made you think that you needed a $2,500 laptop?
About how much
You
this
met
one
your
cost?
father.
Sarah,
Right, but
explain it to
you
us.
already have laptops.
He's gotta do
don't
some
you?
fucking
You have functional.
144
His
hertz.
laptop- His laptop died last week.
Yeah,
Or the week
did.
before.
Oh,
It died last week.
oh
What
okay.
kind did
Was
you
that
have?
the Samsung one? That
And
little
what
red
kind
one?
did you get?
Yes, in answer to Noah's question, yes, it was the red Samsung purchased originally in May of 2010 that I made
Hey.
last for 9
That's
years.
It's about fucking time that thing died.
Yeah, no
that
shit,
thing looks like
dude.
shit.
Wow, I have a lot of hatred for that laptop.
No,
I'm
just
not hating
It
on it. I'm
was
just
just
saying that thing
something
was
about
fucking
it, like, when
chugging
you
for a
would be-
long time, my dude.
When you would be in the room with it, just you and that laptop, and you'd see it sitting on like a coffee table, you just feel uneasy, like an ominous.
it was really just time to put it out to pasture.
It's like
What
wherever
kind
you
did you
went in the
buy?
room, it looked at you. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that belong to you in a room, I found your like a card reader.
Oh,
On my-
yeah. Yeah,
on my-
yeah.
Do you want that? Do you want me to
Yeah.
mail that to you?
No, you can mail it to me, sure.
Okay.
Why don't I go out and pick it up?
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm about due for a visit. Why don't I come out and say hi, pick up my card reader?
For the CAC.
Yeah. Why don't I do that?
What kind of laptop did you buy?
Okay, you've asked that 3 times, and now I'm going to answer the question.
Okay.
First of all, I want to just tell you that I admire your persistence. That's number
Thanks.
1. You're welcome. Second of all, I would say that I bought a Dell XPS 15 touchscreen with a Intel Whiskey Lake an i9 processor and a 1 terabyte solid state drive and
Oh
30
my god.
gigs of RAM. And I think that's
Laptop with a terabyte
what's that?
hard drive. I said a laptop with a terabyte hard drive. You went out.
Yeah,
Well,
well, and not just a terabyte hard drive, a terabyte solid state hard drive.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why
the
you paid
SSD is
$2,500.
That means the porn's all in HD.
Oh, yeah, and it's fast.
laptops were-
So fast.
He did so good with the last one. Who could deny him the top of the line this time? And we're going to be running the pod through it. So, I mean, hello. So important.
So
Yeah.
critical. And you know how we're going to pay for it? With our sponsorship from Ziffs. That's right, Ziffs. Fine dining in a relaxed continental atmosphere in Invercargill, New Zealand. Come on down to Ziffs and get your genuine New Zealand cuisine, including real live kiwi and a delicious koala bear snack. That's right, Ziffs in Invercargill, New Zealand. Proud fake sponsors of a Shin Show for nearly 100th of a century. Then, when you're finished at Ziffs, head on over to the throne room for your heavy tattoo after your light, refreshing meal that you've just had at Ziffs. The throne room. Heavy tattoos, and also a fake sponsor of a Shin Show for nearly 100th of a century.
I got a good idea. I got a business idea that maybe Ziffs would be interested in.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I mean,
I'm sure
they're
Ziffs
not-
is listening.
They don't. I doubt they use fortune cookies, but I was thinking, you know what? If anybody wants to steal this idea, just go ahead.
Right.
I want to make a line of fortune cookies, but the fortunes are like bullshit. You know, like weird things in them, like all
Like
making-
normal fucking fortune cookies.
I was about to say you
No,
wanted
no,
a fortune
no,
cookie.
like-
Jeez, this is fucking crazy.
No, you guys, you're not thinking far enough outside the cookie, Elsie. Okay, I'm talking about you open the fortune cookie and it says something like, I don't know, any meat is mystery meat if you don't ask enough questions, or a mouse is only rotten if you don't cook it enough, something like that.
Right. Okay.
But like, you know, I have a team of weird people that I could just conscript to write very small, short, succinct, but disturbing phrases that we could put inside fortune cookies and distribute.
You should
Are all of
you
them
should
gay?
put some fucking like scary shit in there, you know, like
Yeah,
you'll
all-
die
I say a
tomorrow
team
or
of
some
people,
fucking
but it's
shit.
really just my.
Yeah, well,
all
now-
my friends.
The
Are you-
final destination version of the fortune cookie.
No, I don't want it to be anything like you're gonna die. I just want it to be something that when you read it, you're perplexed.
Again, already got that one covered, don't
But
they?
in
Yeah,
a
that seems like a normal fortune cookie.
It really does.
Really? Have you ever read a fortune cookie that has anything related to the content I just stated to you? Anything about mystery meat or dead mice?
Okay,
you know,
just
I
saying you
wanted
want to put mystery meat, a fucking mystery meat quote in one fortune cookie does not mean you want to make a whole lot of fortune cookies.
That's just something I dropped off the top of my head. I have a very strange, weird man full of strange.
Hey, that's just one idea. He's got lots, okay?
Yeah, I got lots, all right?
Although I
You think that's the only mystery meat quote I have, dude? I got at least five.
I
Gotta
particularly
work on his
like the
elevator
use
pitch,
of
that's all.
mystery meat with fortune cookie because isn't all Oriental food really mystery meat?
Exactly. Then it ties back around to what you're eating. You know what I'm saying? It all
Full
comes back
circle.
in. Yeah, full circle, nice little bow on top.
Mm.
Hey, you guys don't believe me? That's fine. You just wait till you see Nick Shin's fortune cookies on every street corner, and then we'll see who's laughing.
Then we'll be sorry.
You know where you'll definitely see those fortune cookies though?
Where?
At Ziffs.
Right.
Speaking of which,
That's what I'm saying. I said they might be interested in the line of fortune cookies. We could have, seasonal ones. Like we could make them really disturbing and dark for Halloween,
Right.
You could have abortion flavored, fortune cookies. You could have
Abortion?
murder fortune cookies.
What does that taste like exactly?
just covered in fetus blood and stem cells.
Yeah.
Just
Like afterbirth, like when a cat or a dog is giving birth and like that shit comes out and you're like, I wonder what that tastes like.
Put
No,
a little plastic bag on it.
hold it. I'd like to stop
The placenta au gratin.
and say that I have never once wondered what dog or cat afterbirth tastes like. I've never.
So you mean to tell me you've never witnessed a cat or a dog give birth and then after the placenta falls to the ground, you don't take your embroidered handkerchief out of your back pocket and put it in your shirt and then pull out expensive cookware and
You don't happen to have a red dragon tattoo on your back, do you, Nick?
I mean, it's not like I would tell you if I did.
Oh, that's funny because it's a joke about a serial killer. All right, well that's great. Yeah, I've kind of lost the bubble on the podcast.
We've all lost.
May,
It was
may I ask a question right now about this?
Yes, of course.
Have you ever thought have you ever contacted them? Have you ever thought of just calling this place?
Cold calling the owner.
well, it's fictiminious, is it not?
No,
Just being like, just calling them and being like, "Yo, we talk about you on our podcast." Maybe just find it funny to watch an episode or something. It would make the fine owners of the fine dining establishment, it might make their day.
they get mentioned once every hour and 20 minutes. Like they'd have to sit through they'd have to wade through a lot of bullshit.
I'm pretty sure that's their problem.
Actually, they might be interested. All right.
I think the name of this episode should be Placenta-Flavored Fortune Cookies.
I do too.
Brought to you by
That's some clickbait right there.
Yeah, that's happening. That is indeed going to be the name of this episode. Well, that's great.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. I'm an entrepreneur. I come up with ideas.
Need to work on your elevator pitch, though. You got a lot of pushback in the initial.
Oh, no, these guys are just haters. They don't they're not seeing
No,
my vision.
you worked through it. We're all on board now.
Okay.
All right, good. So, so that concludes the personal news of the week. And I guess I would say that in terms of actual news, hey, good news. We're not currently at war with Iran. So, good job.
Aren't we at cyber war with them? Now?
We're
We're
at
cyber war with
cyber
everybody, aren't we?
Everybody.
Yes, I
I
think
don't know.
everyone.
I'm not real tech savvy, so.
Well, hang on.
Assume we're at cyber war with anybody.
Let's just get Sarah to weigh in on this because she's a computer
Yeah,
scientist.
Sarah, what's up, Sarah?
Yeah, we're at war all the time with everyone.
Explain- Okay. Well said.
Yeah, could you elaborate, please?
Cyber war.
Yeah. Computers, man. Stay off our networks. Except nobody.
State of the art shit, man. Okay.
Delete Facebook, hit the gym, lawyer up.
Word. Endorsed.
Because you want to post those sweet gym pics.
That's true. You do want to post those sweet gym pics. That's a good.
And then delete it so you leave on a good note.
Well,
And then lawyer up.
Right.
right. Don't post your face. I mean, you don't need your face in any.
Blur out the face. Also blur out your genitals with a real long black bar. You know what I mean? Like way longer.
Make sure your CrossFit tattoo shows.
Yeah. So that way people are like, wow, I wonder what's under all that black bar. And then
Right.
The first rule of CrossFit is to always talk about CrossFit,
Right.
much like Fight Club.
Yes, opposite of Fight Club, indeed. All right, well, this is good. This is very good. This is quality material here. But so we are at cyber war and Iran. And what else was news this week? I guess there wasn't that much news this week.
There was Go ahead.
There's been a lot of hullabaloo as to whether or not we should be considering these detention centers along our southern border as concentration camps, seeing as how the legal team for the administration is saying that, we don't really need to provide beds or medicine or...
Sarah and I were just talking about this.
Are we filling the chambers with gas and incinerating them?
Well, that's a death camp. There's a difference between a death camp and a concentration camp.
They're not.
That's true.
Thanks for enlightening me. I didn't know.
Yeah, there is. We're not, obviously we're not hanging the 5 slowest Mexicans outside these camps, but they are,
We are taking their children.
Right. And then treating
I mean,
them
it is a fucking evil
Failing to
fucking,
provide
like,
for
it's an evil process.
Yeah, it seems a bit unnecessary. It seems like there's government dollars being used to pay the men to put these people into camps that could be otherwise allocated to a more productive activity. But I don't know shit. You know what I mean?
Well, here's what I'd say. Words are important. right? So how we describe these, what are they? Are they internment camps?
They are certainly camps. Okay, they're certainly camps. We can start there.
I think the detention center is pretty accurate, right? Because they're detaining them because of an illegal activity. Am I correct about this or incorrect?
Well, it depends on whether or not you consider applying. Are we talking about asylum seekers?
No, detention. They're in detention because they've been caught trying to illegally cross the border. Am I correct about that?
Maybe not, because asylum seekers are also being put in these centers, whatever you want to call them, centers, camps, what have you. But the important thing is that, though that's an interesting point too, because they are being thrown in with people who are crossing the border in an unauthorized fashion. So do we want to throw these people all together? Do we separate them? What do we do? And that's really the bottom line, is that none of us know what to do about this issue, but there's hundreds of thousands of people coming from South America and Central America. We know this.
Yeah, because there's a big humanitarian crisis.
No, I thought it wasn't a crisis. We established that last week, didn't we?
No, we didn't. I think we left it up in the air.
I thought we established that it definitely is a crisis, like one of insurgency proportions.
Yes.
Like terroristic in proportions, certainly. Like there's actually no question about it, dude. There really isn't. It's not even a debate whether.
Here's the other thing is that there has been a humanitarian crisis in Central and South America for how long?
Long time.
20,
Over
30
a decade.
years?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
So I went to a lecture at the Latin Museum last week.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Sandy invited me.
No.
But the lady was a weaver. She was born in
Spellweaver?
Yes, I wish.
Dreamweaver?
Yeah. So she's from Denver, but she moved to Guatemala like 25 years ago or something. And so she was talking about native dress, but got kind of off topic and talked about, the Civil War that went on from, 60 to 90, I think. It was a 30-year thing, and they're just now kind of starting to recover. Yeah. Which, by the way, that Civil War was incited by the U.S. over banana country. So go us.
For bananas?
Yeah. The Dole Fruit Company had land in Guatemala and some other Central American country.
Their own mercenary company,
I don't know that part, but I know that they had land that the government was trying to give back to the Mayans, and the U.S. had an interest in that land not going back to the native Indians, and so we sent operatives down there to kind of incite a civil war and install a new dictator.
What's that called? There's a word for that, right?
A coup.
No.
Oh, yes.
No?
Well, yeah, that is
installing a puppet regime.
Yeah, when the government throws over another government, and then lets the people that they trained, the Contras that they trained and gave weapons, they're the new government, and then we're like, oh, look at this evil people who overthrew their government. We're gonna go over there and liberate them.
Yeah.
Isn't there a name for that?
American
puppet regime's pretty good.
The American way.
Yeah.
Democracy. Hell yeah.
I like
Democracy wins again.
USA.
Let freedom ring. Al Qaeda's on the run. Hell yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad we got that figured out. But the point is that this lady is a good weaver, or I'm sorry.
No, the point is that we were talking about the Guatemalan Civil War, which the reason why it was important was because these garments that the indigenous people wore were very specific, and you could tell from a glance what village they were from. Well, when the government was targeting villages to be wiped out, you don't want to be wearing your traditional dress. So people started moving away from the traditional dress and are just now even starting to weave those traditional garments again. But a lot of the meaning has changed or been lost, and a lot of the newer generations don't care about it so much. So that was really kind of
destruction of culture.
What happened? What happened in El Salvador? Did we do the same thing there?
Pretty much.
Yeah, but
was it over bananas or?
I don't know.
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was the Guatemalan thing, but Murphy would actually know.
Although, meanwhile, I believe Jamaica is one of the top 10 producing countries of bananas in the world or something, but Dole won't buy theirs because of some of their bullshit. So we're going to attack these other countries to get theirs because there's like a short, I don't know.
I don't know if we know if we really know all these things, but here's what I do know for sure. What I know for sure about bananas is that there's actually only one variety of banana in the world, and it is extremely at risk from being attacked by some sort of pathogen because
Well, that's what happened to the original bananas or whatever from the.
That's
50s.
exactly right. And so there's only one variety of banana that is left on the planet. And if for whatever reason it should become susceptible to some sort of pathogen, as generally happens with all fruit at some point,
No more nanners.
no more nanners.
I think we could grow it back. Didn't we regrow a California condor? They were extinct, and then they just grew them back.
Well, no, we didn't I don't believe we used like genetic engineering. I think we did conservation.
You would have to kill the pathogen first, though. You see, before you could try to bring it back, or else it's just.
What if you just grew
Bring
the
back another
nanners
strain.
you either grow them in another strain or just grow them underground in a super fucking like high tech facility, airlocks.
Have we considered that this type of banana might be indestructible? I mean, it beat the shit out of all the other bananas. Am I right?
It's true. It is like the last one standing.
It is. It is the toughest.
But the bacteria will always.
Yep.
King of the nanners.
Well, to be fair though, I mean, with CRISPR now, it might be possible that they can develop a new strain of banana that they can alter their genes so they're immune to the pathogen.
But will they still
I don't know.
taste
I
good?
don't know enough about this.
What about a super intelligent banana? One that could.
What about an AI banana? How about smart bananas? We thought about those yet?
What if we make an AI in the image of a banana, and then it decides that all non-banana creatures must be wiped out?
Have you seen the new
That's a
game?
movie.
Have you seen the new game trailer for My Friend Pedro?
No.
Y'all should check that out. I don't
Sorry.
know exactly what it's about, other than it's like a run, kill, shoot everything game, and it's the guy is being directed by a banana named Pedro.
Oh, I like that. I see. This is we're ahead of our time.
Oh, speaking of
I've
which,
watched a couple trailers for it, and I still am a little unclear.
so
but
he's
I know that
insane, and like the Pedro is like some sort of
there's
figment.
like a banana society. I'm really not sure, but I know that I want to
Also,
buy the
that's
game.
probably like the point of the game is you don't know if he's crazy or if there really is a banana society and he's like the chosen one that they're.
I mean, watch the trailers.
Kind of like Donnie Darko or some shit.
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah,
like
Donnie
Wilfred?
Darko. Yeah.
Dude, I just finished Wilfred, the entire series, the other day.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
just as good as the second time around?
Well, if you remember, the first time I watched it, they only had like the first 2 seasons. So I never got the closure. I never knew, like, who the fuck is Wilfred? Why does he see this guy in a dog suit where everyone else just sees a dog?
Well, because he's insane. I mean, that's obvious.
Well, no. Yeah, at first, that's what it plays out to be like. Yeah, he's fucking crazy because his mom's in a mental asylum and shit. And but then there's like this. I won't ruin it for you.
All right. No spoilers. But the bottom line is that it's not all as it seems.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was weak, dude. Weak.
The show was good.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that, it was funny that he was smoking. He ended every episode just smoking weed out of a homemade Gatorade bottle with a guy in a dog suit. That was funny to me. But
Right.
there's other things, but it's like, I don't know. The ending, it was fine. It was good.
Have you guys ever heard of Paolo Bacigalupi or Bacigalupi? He's an American fiction writer, and he wrote The Wind-Up Girl. He won the Nebula Award for it.
Did he write The Water Knife? Is that
Maybe, I don't know, but he wrote a book about genetically modified organisms or food. And it was called The Wind-Up Girl. And it was the only reason I'm saying that we're talking about genetically modified bananas. But the book was actually very, very. I enjoyed it very much. It was a good read, I thought.
Fiction book.
Yeah, fiction. Yeah, but it was
set in the future.
Yeah, I was set in the future where basically his premise is that we genetically modified all this shit to where we killed it. We jet them, and there was all these food shortages and rising ocean levels and shit. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed it a lot.
But you know what? I do know something about this from all of my years as an agricultural journalist. And the truth of the matter is that the genetic modification that we've done for soybeans and corn and other plants thus far has reduced the use of pesticides by hundreds of millions of tons.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, it's a fact. GMOs have done more to feed the planet. I mean, we have...
But they don't have the same nutrients, correct? I mean...
Yeah, they do.
Huh?
They do. They have the exact same nutrients.
I don't want to get my nanners from some kind of GMO squid farm, all right? I want it to be all organic.
Yeah, I'm with Nick on
I
this.
want the tarantulas inside the peels.
I don't believe that the genetically modified food has the same quality as organic food. I don't think it does.
Yeah. But on what basis? I mean, this is like an anti-vax thing, right? I mean, there's no scientific basis to believe that genetically modified organisms are any different or worse than non. How do you think we do modification of crops right now? We're genetically modifying them by interbreeding them. So
there's no question that we're genetically modifying things. But I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I don't believe that, it's all peaches and fucking cream either, buddy. But watch some documentaries on Monsanto, you know what I mean, or whatever the fuck the name of that place is.
Bayer these days. Used to be Monsanto. They got bought out by Bayer. Now, I'm not saying that millions of tons of glyphosate in the environment are necessarily the best thing in the world, but millions of tons of glyphosate replaced millions of tons of even more toxic shit. And let's face it, we've been eating these genetically modified crops since 1996.
Yeah, look what's happening. Everybody's going fucking nuts.
Right? Oh, so
That's probably just
sensitive and shit. Weird.
That's probably just the pills in the water supply.
That could be it too. Or it could be the fluoride, or it could be a number of things. It could be a combination of things, and most likely that's what it is. It's a combination of things.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that things aren't really as bad as a lot of people think they are. More bad things are able to be reported and shared across the world, so it seems like more things are going wrong than what actually is.
Excellent point.
But
can I just say, I feel like I'm having deja vu right now, because when I went to go do that residential work, I carpooled with a guy named Easton who works with me, and his girlfriend, who happens to be a flat earther and is into a whole bunch of conspiracy theories and shit.
I love it.
And well, she was going into it, yeah, and she was going like fucking ham on this. She was like, you don't fucking know, all right? NASA's fucking lying to us. And Easton was sitting up front with me, and he's like, there's no scientific evidence for you to believe that the Earth is fucking flat. And they were just fucking fighting like crazy the whole ride back. And I was just driving like, oh my god, are you guys gonna fucking stab each other right now? Like,
I think that a conspiracy theory where you think the Earth is flat is much different, where you're not sure you're not sure what's in your water.
Yeah. I think it would be.
Well, my question. Well, she brought up the fluoride thing. Is fluoride actually bad for us? That's my question.
Poison.
Because I don't think it is.
Teeth? Ain't it in toothpaste?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's good for our teeth, isn't it?
Toothpaste. You're applying it to your teeth.
Says you. I eat tubes of toothpaste every day.
All right. Well, that might be what's wrong with
that shit on my cereal.
It's good for you in some aspects, but too much is problematic. There you have it.
All I've had to eat for the last
like
6
literally
weeks
everything.
is a tube of Crest.
Right. That's all you've had to eat all day is a 6-ounce tube of Crest.
Yeah. I said
and your breath is much the fresher for it.
That's right.
And you should smell it when he shits. It's delicious. It's minty.
It's delicious. Got little flakes of mint right in there.
Are you eating this shit? What the fuck's going on here?
No, but I am saving it for a rainy day.
Casey runs out of toothpaste.
Yeah. I just like to be prepared. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. Well, all I'm saying is that one of the problems that we've got with all of this disinformation that's out there is that actual science has been devalued in terms of what is actual science.
What you're saying is you can't trust a motherfucker no more.
I'm saying it. You're right. Hard to know what's real and what's not real.
It is an area of disinformation. And I'm going to go ahead and put my tinfoil hat on and say that it would be within the best interest of large world powers to kind of put the squeeze on the population thing right now.
Hey, in the immortal words of George Trump, fake news.
Yeah, George Trump. That's right.
I'm glad we broke out George.
Make Trump George again.
Make Trump George again. Hey, so just real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I saw a thing in my curated, Google newsfeed or whatever that Trump posted how did they word it? A baffling, maybe, video of him being president forever. And I'm like, that's not baffling. That's fascism.
Well, dude, he's goddamn 100 years old. He's on 50 different kinds of amphetamines. The bro's literally held together with wacky glue. All right, he can't physically be president.
And spray
forever.
tan.
Yeah, and spray tan and wacky glue are all that's holding his ragged flesh together.
So you're
And
telling me
amphetamines.
that his fucking marionette points are like his head?
Yeah. Yeah, his head, his toupee, his two shoulders, and his knees are the only movable parts of his body. The rest is just like, swaying.
Can we get an inflatable baby Trump for the podcast?
I don't think. Could we get one? Yeah. Sure. Why not?
I mean,
We could just say we have one. I mean, there's no video. We could
That's true. Never mind. Fuck it.
Hang on. The inflatable
as a
baby.
matter of fact, I just found one right here in my room, and I'm pulling it out right now, just looking at this beautiful inflatable baby Trump.
Hang on. I'm blowing
It's a
one
shame
up.
you have no video.
Isn't it a shame? I wish I could show it to you. It's got this blonde hair on it. It's all squishy. It's inflatable.
definitely a
It's got a rubbery outside.
You hear me blowing it up?
But a squishy inside.
No. Okay. No one was hearing me. No one
We
got
heard
that.
you.
It's got a rubbery outside, but a Republican inside.
It's also got a lot of weird holes and like the circle lips thing. I don't know what that's for, but
It's a baby Trump sex doll.
Oh.
Oh, gross. All right.
I'm pretty sure no one would buy
Oh,
I'm an
I'm
entrepreneur.
pretty
like
sure
Nick.
you are wrong.
Me and Nick are going into fucking business, and it's gonna be baby Trump sex dolls.
I can think of some guys at work that would buy that all day.
Yeah, guys got a mind for the entrepreneurial as well, okay? You guys just don't see the vision. all
Right.
The vision.
So
You
it's
have
going
any
to be-
idea what these things will sell like in Thailand?
Hang on for just a second. So we're talking about, at this point, the entrepreneurial vision of this podcast thus far is afterbirth flavored fortune cookies and baby Trump sex dolls. Is that accurate?
Now you are starting to get it. I think you're starting to really get on board with this.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to understand where we were going with
Look, you're going to want to take it nice and slow when you're digesting these thoughts, all right? You don't want to just jam it all in at once, all right? You're going to have a bad time.
No,
So-
it. We're also gonna
It's
have
revolutionary.
Am I right?
yeah, shits. All right, so hey, just real quick about things that we've seen this week. Elsie and I started watching Russian Doll. Very entertaining show on Netflix. Very entertaining.
Okay.
And just 8 episodes to get through. So,
Yeah, well, apparently I can't start anything new until we finish Sopranos, so I'm never watching anything else again.
Pretty much right there. We're still not done with it.
yeah,
I
we
started watching Unit 42. It's in French, but it's pretty good.
really. What is it?
It's about a crime unit, and it's the lady's a hacker basically, and she catches these criminals by hacking their shit. I think it's pretty cool.
Ah, it sounds quite interesting. Now, we started watching the HBO smash hit Chernobyl the other night.
Oh,
Kira
us
said
too.
that was
Oh
awesome.
yeah, that one's fucking wild, dude.
I watched two or three episodes, and then Mom's HBO got cut off. So
I
Oh,
watched
never
the
got
whole
to watch
thing
it.
from my really weirdly free HBO, and it is a fantastic show. It is absolutely phenomenal.
yeah. So here's what I'd say about Sarah. I know you only saw 2-3 episodes, but spoiler alert: the whole thing melts down. Just
Everybody
Well,
dies.
I mean,
All
we
right.
discussed that in the first episode. So
oh, I see. All right. So yeah, I don't even know then why.
Wait. What show are you talking about again?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Someone
about
was telling
Chernobyl.
me about some show they were watching where it's like it was like in Chernobyl, but then something about the reactor opened up a wormhole and it sent these kids back and forward in time interchangeably.
Oh, that was on Netflix and is definitely not Chernobyl.
Yeah.
What,
What?
what was the name of it?
Is that
I
like
don't remember.
the Umbrella Academy or something? Or?
No,
Fuck no.
no. The Umbrella Academy is really good, and y'all should watch it.
Okay.
Kind of seemed good.
Well, it's
Seemed
got
watchable.
it's got some people I like in it, and then it's produced by the frontman from My Chemical Romance.
Is the dude Nathan in there?
Really?
Yes.
It is?
Nathan from fucking The Misfits?
Yeah.
Ooh, might have to watch it.
Okay.
Might have to watch it.
The Umbrella Academy. We might
Yeah.
have to watch it.
Well,
Okay.
it's based
Hold
off
on a minute. Did you say it's produced or whatever by Gerard Butler?
Gerard Way.
Gerard Way, thank you.
of Gerard
I was
Way.
getting
Yeah.
the last name.
Well, it's,
Yeah,
based on the
Gerard-
it's based on the comics that he wrote.
Isn't Gerard Butler a Scottish guy with the weird lip?
Yes.
I believe it.
that's-
I don't know.
that's-
I just came up with the last name on
Yeah,
it.
the
he's
actor.
I was
Scotsman
thinking of
with the
Geezer
hair.
Butler. I don't know.
Wasn't Gerard
Lead,
Butler
Bassist.
the lead guy in the 300? Wasn't that him?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
So he had all
Yeah.
the
Was it really? Wait,
Yes.
the 300 or just the movie 300 of the Spartans?
yeah, the movie
What are you talking about?
300, the Spartans. Yeah, the
Oh.
Spartan movie. That was him.
man.
Look
I
at
don't think
that.
it was.
That's his name.
Did you
Yeah,
listen
it
to
was. Sarah and I are right.
Leonidas.
Yeah,
Did you listen
I watched
to the
it like
podcast Dan Carlin did about that
Yes.
whole thing about
King
the
of
Persian
Kings.
Empire?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, wasn't it?
Terrific. It's a 5-hour podcast, almost like this one.
Yeah, it's like 4 5-hour podcasts is what it is, but it's
quite
good. It's worth a listen.
The Archimedean Empire. Yes, indeed. The Archimedean Persian empires.
Started
don't
by
like
Darius
Dan
the Great.
I'm just gonna come out and say it.
No, not started by Darius. Started by Cyprus, or Cyrus, rather.
Cyrus, you're right. You're right. Excuse me, Cyrus. And
Yeah.
then he had his son who is I don't know, Dick Cheese Jr. or something was his name. Was his
No.
Latin name.
No, it was not. His son was like by Camses or something like
Yeah, no, it was Cambyses. That's who it was.
That's right. Thank you. Cambyses.
Cambyses. Also, make sure you listen to that Bob Lazar interview, dude. Make sure you listen to it. I was going to say, Dad, I know you have a commute to work every day.
So
Like,
who's this Bob Lazar? Who is he?
he was a man who worked for Area 51 before it was called Area 51 in 1989. And when he would worked on a project for 6 months, and when he was stopped working on that project, he told his friends, like, hey, there's some shit, like, I think they don't want me working on this project anymore, and I think they might kill me or something because I know quite a bit. So I'm going to show you these mountain ranges where every Wednesday night they test these aircraft. And so they all went and took videos and shit, and then they got caught. And that's why the government had to officially recognize Area 51 as an actual place so that they could expand the territory of Area 51 so that you could no longer access the mountain ranges that allowed you to see the tests they were doing there. Now, Area 51 wasn't just aircraft. It was also they were doing nuclear weapons testing and all that kind of stuff.
I believe that there's more than one Area 51. Just like when they were building the bomb, they built it in several different places. Because
Yeah, but the point is, like, when he came out and said all that stuff, he said that there were people, nobody believed him. They said he was fucking crazy. Like, they're not doing weapons testing there. That place doesn't exist. And the main thing he said is there are alien spacecraft there, and I personally was tasked to work on them. And I can tell you when they're flying them, and we can go see them. And then over the years, it all turned out to be true. Obviously, the alien spacecraft thing hasn't been confirmed, but everything else that he said turned out to be true. And so he goes on, Joe Rogan interviews him, and he's like, throughout the whole thing, he's like, man, this is going to make everything worse. I really don't want to fucking do this. And the things he says...
Does he have a book coming out soon?
What's that?
Does he have a book coming out soon?
No,
Okay.
definitely not. But there is a documentary about him on Netflix that you can watch for free.
Okay, so
I was just curious because Bella Thorne has a book coming out soon, and that's why a bunch of nude pictures surfaced of her on the internet.
No, the reason a bunch of nude pictures surfaced of her was because some guy got her nudes and was like, if you don't pay me $250,000, I'm going to release him. And she's like, oh, really? Then I'll just release him then.
Or it could be because she has a book coming out.
or it could be because she's hot. I don't know. Who's
Well,
Bella?
it could be all of those things, but none of that has anything to do with
Are there any nude pictures of Bob Lazarus? That's what I'm asking.
I'm sure if you dug hard enough, maybe the government could provide you with those. But the point is
that's a telling sign if he has a book coming out or not.
It is.
well, I don't think he does. He's not the kind of guy to write books. He doesn't. He expresses regret that he came out and said all this stuff. He was like, this was beyond the cutting edge of science. I really wanted to keep working on this project. But what it was is that since he had Q clearance, that means that the government gets to monitor everything about you, your phones, all that shit. He's like, that's not weird. That's just, what they do when you have Q clearance. But
but here's the thing, right? So that's not that Q clearance. Your sister has a Q clearance. I mean, my sister, Kiara.
Okay,
my sister
all right,
has a Q clearance.
hang on one second, dude. Hang on one second. Let me just finish this thought, all right?
Okay.
When you have Q clearance, back in 89, working on Area 51 specifically, they monitored your phone. And when they were doing this, he was, working at any time of the day, 11 at night, and he wasn't allowed to tell his wife where he was. So she thought he was having an affair. But since they were monitoring his phones, they knew she was having an affair with a flight instructor. And so they were like, well, we're not going to tell him, but if he finds out, this might compromise his ability to work on this project. So they stopped having him come in, and they started having guys follow him around. So he started thinking, okay, like maybe they don't want me working on this project anymore, and they're waiting until I'm alone so they can fucking kill me since I know too much. And that's why he went to a reporter and was like, hey, man, if anything happens to me, this is what I know. And then that story all broke out. But he goes into great detail, the things he worked on, the things he saw, and it's phenomenal. And
So what you're saying is it was his wife's fault.
Yeah,
look, I'm just saying,
Totally
I don't
his
think he's
fault.
lying, because if he was, he would have had an answer for everything. There was a lot of things that he was asked that he was like, I don't know. I wasn't allowed to know that. I only know the specific components they told me to work on.
Okay, so in other words, in answer to my question, who was Bob Lazar? He's a former Area 51 employee.
Yes.
Yes.
He got to work in Area 51 because he got a reference from the father of the hydrogen bomb, Ed something.
Edward Teller.
So, Edward Teller, yeah. He put a jet engine in his Honda. And then he rolled up, and Edward Teller was at his school, and he's like, wow, you really know how propulsion systems work, don't you? If you ever need a reference, here's my car. And then he got that reference. The government was like, oh, you know how to work on propulsion systems. We need you to work on one right now to reverse engineer one we found.
I think you need to put your other headphone on or something. You're feeding back somehow.
Yeah.
I had to take my headphones off because I've been feeding back this entire time. I can just hear myself talking.
Oh, I see. I understand.
But you
you're
sound
much
a lot better
than
with
us.
them on. I don't know why, but you sound so much better.
That makes absolutely sense.
I'm pretty sure it's just when he gets excited, he leans away from the mic, and then my mic picks it up.
Oh, that could be.
That could be.
Yeah. I mean, you got real excited about this Bob Lazar thing. I mean, this Bob Lazar thing, I don't really feel like I need to listen to the podcast now because you've explained everything about who Bob Lazar is.
If you're not interested in that stuff, you're not interested. I'm
interested in it. I'm just saying you've given away the whole game. That's all.
Spoiler alert.
Not
Kind of
even
blew your
close.
load.
Not even fucking close. I'm like giving you the ultimate fucking Cliff's Notes. Like, this is not, dude, the shit he describes is, whatever, man. I think that stuff's interesting. I think
Here's an interesting fact. Your Aunt Kira actually used to work at Area 52.
That's a true story.
Yep. But it was in Los Alamos.
Well, to anyone who he actually worked in Los Alamos before he worked in Area 51. That's where he met, what's his name?
Yeah. And this is
It's
my
the
other
hydrogen
point.
bomb.
The other thing that he may or may not have said is that a Q clearance does not apply to a Department of Defense employee. Q clearances apply to Department of Energy employees. So for whatever
What does
that's
that
worth,
have to do with what I said?
what it has to do with is for somebody who's been involved with the government as long as I have, here's what I can tell you. It matters what agency you work for. So really,
Well, look, Dad, the only reason I said that was because, all right, let's just forget I said the word Q clearance. You're kind of missing the point here. The point is he had such a clearance as so that the government monitored his phone calls.
I take it back, goddammit.
And because the government monitored his phone calls, they found out his wife was cheating on him. And so they distanced him from the project, making him think that they wanted to get rid of him. And so he came forward with all the information he had.
listen, if I promise to listen to this podcast, will you promise to shut the fuck up about Bob Lazar?
Yes.
I hereby
I will never mention him or anything related to it again, but you do have to listen to it.
All right, fair enough. It's done. It's a deal. Fair.
I don't believe you. So I'm gonna keep talking about Bob Lazar. I'm just kidding.
I'm interested in it, so I'm going to listen to it.
Thanks, guy. Dude, I'm just saying listen to it, man. It's crazy. I thought it was
Nobody said they weren't going to listen to it, though. Like, you got real defensive about it, but none of us said that we weren't going to listen to it.
I don't.
I mean, I'm
As soon as
convinced to
someone
listen
says
to it. You're
they're
so
getting
forceful that I
about
think I'm going to
something,
listen to it.
Yeah.
Then
I'm
when
gonna
you
play it
say you're not
subliminally
getting
over and
defensive
over in
about
my
it, it
sleep.
just sounds like you are. So I can't.
No,
I'm not.
Elsie is not going to listen to it, okay? She's already said that. I am going to listen to it because, as you say, I have a long commute.
She actually is going to listen to it in her sleep. She just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, she don't know
I
it
listen
yet.
to every podcast he listens to because he cranks up the volume all the way when I'm trying to sleep in the
Look,
morning, and I wake up to the sound of podcasts.
I just bring it up because I know that, Dad, you have like an hour long, like you have a portion of your day where you can just sit there and listen to things. And I thought it'd be something interesting for you to listen to.
And I
That's
will.
all I'm saying.
Thank you. Yeah, but you said much more than that.
Well, because I want to hook you. I want to get you on the hook. I want you to be like, oh, wow, that does sound good. Because if I just tell you to listen to it, you're not going to fucking do it.
it
He's
does.
trying to help a brother out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Help me help you.
Is Bob Lazarus or whatever his name is he paying you for this
Nah,
podcast?
that dude ain't got new money.
New
Yeah.
sponsor.
Fuck.
New sponsor.
Right. This podcast brought to you by Ziffs, The Throne Room, and by Bob Lazar.
And aliens.
Unemployed former and the alien.
Bob Lazar and the aliens.
And the placenta cookies.
Yes. And, hey, but one quick thing about on the subject of unidentified aerial phenomenon, which is what they're calling UFOs now, UAPs. So they've made it easier for military pilots to come forward about unidentified aerial phenomena. And the reason is because they don't want the stigma associated with UFOs, because now some of the hypersonic glide vehicles and other shit that other countries are testing, when our pilots see something they don't recognize, we want them to report it and not be deemed crazy so that we can try and figure out what some of our adversaries are doing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
makes sense.
That's wise, yeah.
Unusually so, no?
It's wise in the ways of science.
Did you guys see the UFO sighting over Kansas City? What happened to be weather balloons?
Oh, they always say weather balloons. Weather balloons is just
They're going
code
to tell you it's weather balloons no matter what. That's code for aliens were butt fucking in the sky above Kansas City. And we got it all on camera, baby.
I don't understand why they were butt fucking. I'm confused.
Well, I don't know. They could have been playing dominoes or something.
They could be.
Why
They could have been butt fucking.
Right. Could have been.
They could have been doing
Frankly,
anal
they
probes on
probably
me.
were.
Yeah. Okay.
Why probe Earthlings when you can probe each other?
Right.
They probe each other. Don't you worry about that.
Apparently. Kansas City.
I'm good friends with him. I'm texting him right now. It's not a big deal.
Let's get them on the show.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Next, our very next special guest is aliens.
Stop butt fucking long enough to
Right.
contribute.
Actually,
If they can't bother to stop probing each other long enough to talk, they've got a pretty booked schedule.
right, with all the butt fucking and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, butt fucking is the technical term, but it's really just probing.
All right, y'all. This has been fascinating, but the main card started 8 minutes ago, so I got to go.
All right. Well,
We're out.
probably time to leave on that high note. Am I right?
Yeah. Who doesn't want more butt fucking in their life? I'm sorry,
Butt
but I
fucking
got to go.
aliens, all right? Get it together.
All right.
We need
Amen.
to tighten up.
All right. Well, anyway, good to see you, kids. I sure love you. Sure love you, kids.
Yeah, I love you too. Everybody out there who might be listening, watch out for them aliens, all right?
Yeah.
They're coming.
They're probing like
They're,
motherfuckers.
it's probing.
They're probing and they're coming.
It's probing season today.
All right, goodbye.
All right. Love you, honey. All right. She left.
In disgust.
I don't feel like I had the quality goodbye from Sarah that I usually get. I feel bad about that. But after all, hey, the main event is starting. Okay. Anyway, good talking to you, kids.
You're gonna do the outro?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Here we go. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Noah.
Happy to help.
Skin show.
A Shin Show is brought to you by Shinfluence. It's actually a production of Shinfluence, and it's brought to you by Ziff's, fine dining in Invercargill, New Zealand, and by The Throne Room. Heavy Tattoos, also in Invercargill, New Zealand, both fake sponsors of a Shin Show for nearly 100th of a century. It's also brought to you this week, specially by Placenta-Flavored fortune cookies and by the inflatable baby Trump sex doll. Please join us next week when we'll hear Nicholas Shin say something like, Sarah's still there, so we'll hear Sarah Shin next week say...
Go fuck yourself.
Quite.
With an alien.
Well done, Sarah. Well done. All right. Anyway, so parting shots, anybody? Sarah, thanks. I appreciate you sticking around for that. I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
All right.
I had to stick around for the outro. There we go.
Outro.
Extro. Yeah.
Good job on that. Any parting shots there, Noah?
I mean, I might do some vodka.
Okay. Very good. That's a good parting shot. Nick, parting shots?
He's gone, dude.
All right. He blazed up to the main event. Guy, parting shots? Guy also is gone.
I guess he's gone too. Wow, everyone fucking dipped.
Well, you know, it's like the whole process of us starting is that like it's the same for us leaving. We say we're going to leave, and then we hang around for 15 minutes. So
yeah. But now we're Elsie, parting shots?
I just want to apologize to any of you tattoo artists at the at the Throne Room who do some light shading work that we might be falsely advertising that they're all heavy tattoos. We're sure that your work in all forms and mediums is fabulous.
Oh, okay. Good parting shot there. All right. And I don't have any, except that I love you, kids.
all right, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, do that.